Well, welcome. All right. Melissa Henyan, psychic medium extraordinaire in the building.
Oh, goodness sakes. That's a lot to live up to, Sarah.
No, I love this. You know, halfway through the work week, hump day, and then a psychic. I mean,
and then a psychic.
what more could you ask for? And then you
donuts.
Oh, yeah. Amen to that. Oh, I love donuts. Okay, I know. I could go squirrel all day long.
Right?
Oh, we had a really interesting topic that we are picking today.
Yes, and I won't curse on air, but it's owning your stuff.
Owning your ish.
Owning your ish.
Let's dive into what exactly that means.
So I think a lot of us, well, every single one of us are wounded on some level. We have something that's happened in our lives that have caused us to react and behave a certain way. So when somebody says something to us, even though it may not be meant as bad as it was received, we are wounded from it.
And we react accordingly.
And then what's even worse is we don't address it. Instead of saying, okay, this is how that felt for me. Can you talk to me about that? We just hold on to it and then it builds.
Because why do we think that we, if we just pretend like it doesn't exist, it'll go away?
Well, I don't know why we do.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, she's not a psychologist, and I just did a therapist thing on you.
But I will tell you that as human beings, we try to push everything down and not deal with it, because I don't think a lot of us are taught from the time we're little how to deal with the emotions that we're experiencing. You know, the little boy who cries, whose parents say, don't cry.
Yeah.
We don't cry. We don't cry in this family. That's your emotions. But you have to learn what those emotions are for you, and each one of us handles those differently.
And each person is raised in a family with beliefs that have been passed down from generation to generation.
Yes, you know, and every generation also says, I want to do better for my child.
Which is beautiful.
It is absolutely beautiful. And unfortunately, somewhere along the way, it can get lost. And we hold these things that happen to us and we let them fester until we explode.
And usually it's on the person that did the least amount of it. Doesn't that seem how it is? Like you're like,
It does. And this has come up for me a lot this last week. And I know you know that because of some things that were thrown my way.
Right.
And I'm an addresser. I am the kind of person like, if this is good, what is it? Let me figure that out for you. If I've offended you, let's dig into that.
There's nothing wrong with approaching somebody with, we had a conversation and it stung. That hurt what you said to me.
Right. And then I would just say, okay, so what is that for you? How can I help you?
Are you asking this person?
What do you need from me?
Ooh. Oh, and then just sit there and let him answer?
And let him respond. You know, can I use my example?
Yes.
Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, so I did an event last year. Somebody came to the event with their loved one, and they, unbeknownst to me until 2 days ago, were unhappy with the situation. And felt that I had called them out for not believing in what I do.
Oh.
I don't necessarily feel like I did that.
Right.
I'm more of a, if I see you sitting cross-armed, that tells me you're closed off.
Okay. So you're trying to you were trying to just not batter them, but kind of
banter.
Yeah,
make
banter.
Them laugh.
There you go.
That's what I do with every event.
She said it with a smile, man.
I know. Well, when I come in, I will
okay,
this is funny. Let's just get the energy up. And also that's part of what I do for what I do when I go into an event. High energy helps bring spirit through. And you can think that's crazy if you want, but it's the truth.
I can attest to that.
Yeah. So you want those good vibes flowing. You want people smiling. You want people engaged with you. So if somebody's sitting back with their arms crossed and a scowl on their face, there's a good chance I'm going to say, hey.
Right. Well, and as you're scanning the room, you would automatically go to that little lump on a log that's like, I don't like what she's doing.
I know, and I offended him, but I didn't know that because he didn't say anything. He didn't come up to me after and say, okay, so you're a jerk, Melissa.
Right. I didn't like how you made me feel when you called me out.
And I can handle it. I really can. I've seen me do it.
As adults, we all should be working on this. It sucks.
Always.
It's
and
uncomfortable.
I would never want to make somebody feel like I'm making fun of them or putting them down, because I know what that feels like. It's not okay.
Right.
My job and my hope is to lift you up and make you happy. So, of course, I felt like a jerk for that.
Right.
And I tried to address the situation as soon as it was brought to my attention. But at this point, he had worked himself up and wanted nothing to do with me. No.
And that's a good example, too, where you would let something fester where now it's taken on a life of its own. It's not even near what it looked like when it first happened.
Exactly. And now you're angry and you're sharing that anger with the world. And you could have just addressed that in the beginning.
Right. So not to call this person out or anybody that does these things.
I did that more to call myself out.
Yes.
I did this and it caused somebody harm. I will own my stuff. I am not above that. I'm not below that. I will own it. So, and again, when that happens, it gives me the opportunity to look within. Okay, what did I do? How did I handle that? Melissa, you got to do a little better with this. So it's learning for me too, and I'm happy to learn and grow continually. Nobody's ever at the point where they know everything. I will tell you that.
Own your ish.
Own your ish.
That is our topic today. That's what we're talking about. So I think all of us can take a moment and maybe even think about that one thing.
What's triggering you?
Exactly. And why is it triggering you?
Why is it triggering you?
Do you need a journal? Do you need to write it down?
Yes.
That's okay. Are you dreaming about this stuff? As you would say, what do you tell people?
Write it down.
Write it down.
Journal.
Get it all out.
You absolutely should. And if you feel like you need help with that, there are some pretty amazing therapists in Yakima or wherever you're at.
Right.
Find one.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's a powerful thing.
Mm-hmm. It definitely is. Being able to speak your truth, being able to get over that lump. Because I love the other part of owning your ish is once you start to gain that power back and you start to be able to speak. Because at first it'll just like fly out of your mouth and you feel like you're out of control and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I said that. But then you're able to it'll
smooth out.
It will smooth out, and you won't feel so wild, and maybe and then you'll have an open line of communication, which is what we're really looking for.
That's a beautiful thing when you can communicate with your friends and family and others.
Yes. Well, thank you for this bright piece of information. We're calling in the light on this Wednesday. MelissaHenyan.com if you want like a full-on reading, but we're going to dive in and we're going to take calls and we're going to talk about this on air, and we're going to do a live Facebook reading. So if you've never been with us before, 107.3 KFFM, our Facebook page, you can friend us. You'll get a notification that announces when we're going live.
Yes.
You ready?
Ready.
All right, let's do it.